Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Again, welcome. Thank you for coming out to our 4th annual Emergency Preparedness Fair, hosted by York Region Emergency Management in conjunction with all of our municipal partners here. So we thank them for coming out. I'd like to introduce Police Constable Hicks and his partner Cash, who will be doing the demonstration for the Ontario Police for the event, and we'd like to thank them for coming out. Contrary to popular opinion, we have not cut back. It's not a police kitten this year, or the police bird. It is the police dog demonstration. So, Constable Hicks, I'll hand it over to you.
Thank you. I'm going to try to talk loud enough so everyone can hear me. I'm not very good with the megaphone, so like he said, my name's Constable Hicks. Any guesses why his name is Cash? The adults will probably know that. It has to do with the country singer. Johnny Cash, that's right, the man in black. So when I got him, he was black. I said, perfect name, I'll call him Cash. I even have a Johnny Cash CD in the truck, and when I show up at a call, we got Johnny Cash playing, you know, it gets us in the mood, so we're ready to go. I've been with the OPP 20 years now, and I've been working with Cash for 5 years. Cash is an Italian Shepherd. I didn't even know those existed. It doesn't mean that he eats spaghetti and meatballs and pizza. It's just a mixed breed, which is part Malinois and part Mastiff. You can kind of see it in his stance, kind of lifts a bit like a pit bull. He's got that white stance, although there's still a nice small dog. He weighs about 72 pounds, and he's been in service for 5 years. Now, a lot of people always ask us about, you know, why we use dogs, how we choose our dogs, and how the whole system works. So I'll try to briefly explain to you what it's all about. Our canine unit's been around since 1965. We're celebrating our 50-year anniversary this year. And we have currently 28 canine teams deployed throughout the province. Our general service dogs, like Cash, are shepherds. We also use German shepherds, we've got some Dutch shepherds, a couple Italian shepherds, and somebody was asking me earlier, why shepherds? Shepherds are not the best at anything, but they're second best at everything. So if you think of it, a greyhound's the fastest dog, but a shepherd is very fast. And a pit bull bites the hardest, but a shepherd bites really hard. And a husky's got a great coat of fur, but a shepherd also has 2 coats of fur. It keeps him warm in the winter. And you can go on, so forth. They're not number 1 at anything, but they're number 2 at everything. So they're a great all-around jack-of-all-trade dog, which we can use for what we do. That's why they're also used a lot with the military and through police services throughout the world. Cash is trained in a variety of different things. Now, just because there's people behind him, he's kind of paying attention back there. You gotta remember, these dogs are always on a bit of a heightened alert, looking around for different things. Hey, buddy. What? Trying to explain how a dog's nose works. If you walk in the house and someone's cooking pizza, you're gonna say it smells like pizza. The dog would walk in and he could smell every ingredient on the pizza. He would smell the pepperoni, the cheese, the cucumber, the peppers. They smell everything in like a folder. Now, if we sprayed Febreze in that house, we would now all smell Febreze. The dog would still smell every topping on the pizza, plus Febreze. Now, if we throw drugs in that house, we smell Febreze. The dog smells all the ingredients on the pizza, the Febreze, oh, and he smells drugs. So he would show me where those drugs are, and he would get rewarded with the ball because that's what his job is. So it just gives you an idea. Our nose doesn't work the same way. So that's why they're such a great tool that we can use. Cash is trained to track human scent also. Now when I say humans, that could be a bad guy that's running away from the police to evade being arrested, or it could be a lost person. There's a lot of kids here. Anybody ever get lost? I got lost in the bush once. Thank God my dad found me. But I tell you, we've gone out looking for missing kids and missing adults and forgot to bring their GPS or their compass. And it's a great tool because the dog can smell and figure out where you are, and he can cover a lot of ground. Sometimes it's for a bad guy. Just the other day we had a bad guy that crashed his car and he ran away and he was wanted by the police. And it's like, okay, where's he gone? So we use the dog to sniff out where the guy's gone, and then we caught him at the end. And one of the nice things we have is every time I go out to do a track with Cash, I've got 2 guys like Constable Williams back there, who's part of the emergency response team. They're a dedicated backup team for the canine unit, and you can see a lot of the gear that they wear when we go chasing bad guys over there. feel free to come and see that stuff after, try it on. You know, kids like to try on the helmet, look like Darth Vader and that. So make sure you stop by that table and check that stuff out. Cash is also trained to detect 9 different drugs and to detect firearms. Now sometimes people ask about the firearms, whether it's the gunpowder that they smell. We train our dogs on firearms that have been shot, some that haven't been shot, some that are well oiled, some that are dirty. The common denominator in all those firearms is the metal. Gunmetal goes through a process called bluing, and the dog actually can smell that. So it doesn't matter if it's an old gun, a new gun, they can figure out the smell and they can find firearms. Quite often, all the firearms so far that we've found, mostly hidden in cars, we never would have found without a dog. People hide them in their dash, they have secret spots in the car to hide it, and we look with our eyes, but the dog looks with his nose and is able to figure out where stuff is. People often ask if food is a distraction. Food is not a distraction. Part of their training, if you imagine a big dresser, we'll put cocaine in one drawer, and in the next drawer we'll put some nice breakfast sausage right out of the microwave. And the dog should ignore the sausage, because there's no reward for that, and show me where the cocaine is, because then he gets a reward. They're very well fed, so it's not like we starve them. And there's a misconception that we give them drugs so they can recognize drugs. We don't do that either. My dog has never done drugs. Have you done drugs? So I'll be by the table after. I can talk a bit more about the training if that's something that interests you. And a couple of the things that I can show you. Usually when I come here, I bring one of our officers to take a bite. I have to tell you, because of liability reasons, these dogs don't know how to go easy. So he's not here today, so I can't do a bite. A lot of you have offered to take the bite. Unfortunately, we can't do that because people get their shoulders dislocated and different things happen sometimes. But there is a couple other things he does. Now, for all the kids that are here, would you guys like to see a really neat trick? Yeah. Are you sure? Yeah. Cash can read minds. It's really, really something. He can look at you guys and read your mind. Now, I can show you a magic trick about that if you really want to see it. Yeah. But if you don't want to, we'll just go back in the truck. Are you sure? Yeah. All right, I'm going to need the help of Constable Williams for this. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to need about 10 shoes. So some of these kids, just throw one shoe up here. You guys are going to pick a shoe with Constable Williams to be the magic shoe. All right. Okay, that's enough. That's good. You're okay, buddy. You're okay. It's okay. They're not throwing them at you. It's all right. So Constable Williams is going to gather these shoes with you. You're going to have to pick one shoe as the magic shoe. And then when I bring Cash back, he's going to read your minds and figure out which shoe you pick. And don't give him any hints, okay? We're going to go around the corner so we can't see. Come on, buddy. All right.
Alright guys, I got a couple of shoes here. Which one you guys want the dog to try and pick out? Number 1 or number 2? Number 2. Alright. Got one more down here. Pick out your shoes.
Now, kids, very important. I want you to picture the shoe in your mind, but don't point at it and don't look at it. We don't want to get any hints. Now I'm going to take out his magic collar. Ooh, very special. When I put this on his head, he can read your mind. So you guys picture that shoe. Focus on what it looks like. All right, now we're going to start down there. He's going to read your mind. All right, somebody needs to pee over there. Yeah. Oh, that little guy's hungry. Yep. All right. Are you guys picturing the shoe? Okay, now don't point at it. All right, Cash. You got it? He says he's got it. All right. Find it. Where is it? Is this the shoe? Yeah! Oh, what a dog! Now he gets his reward. Woo! What a dog! So when Cash is working, his reward is this. He likes to play for a ball. If we're chasing a bad guy, his reward, either he gets to bite him or he gets to play with the ball. If we're looking for drugs or guns and he finds something, he gets a ball. They work for praise and they work for this ball. It's a relationship that we have together, and that's why it's important for me to spend that time with him. And when we get home, we roll around in the grass together and we do all those crazy things. But when the work collar goes on, then it's business. So they're just, in some ways, they're like your pet at home, except he's my only pet. Now the one biggest thing you got to remember from today, whenever you see a police officer with a dog, never, ever, ever pet the police dog. Always ask first. We have some dogs that aren't aggression trained that an officer might say, yeah, you can pet him. But like Cash, I can't let people pet him because he's trained to bite. And if he saw a hand come out of the blue, he might not know that you're just trying to pet him. So never pet a police dog without asking. And the second thing, never ever feed a police dog. They get very good dog food. He eats twice a day. And sometimes kids want to give him the leftover hot dog and then he gets diarrhea in my truck. And that's never a fun time. Now, just in case nobody left any guns or drugs lying around, we're just going to check the area around here to see if he finds anything, all right? Let's check the York boat here. All right, he's putting his nose in there and he's sitting down. Oh, and there's a gun in there. Oh, what a good dog. What a good boy. Atta boy. Woo! Now just to show you again, this is an old 38 that we used to carry before we went to other guns. This gun hasn't been fired in about 4 years. And so it doesn't really smell like much, but again, it's that bluing process that the dog can recognize. So that's about it that I'm going to talk about. If you have more questions or you want to, if you're a dog lover and you have dog talk you want to do, we're going to be over by the truck. Thanks a lot. Make sure you grab your shoes before you leave. All right? Take care.